discuss it later because we need to be also transparent about this, but this is the current situation with the plenaries.
Thank you. Yes, we have first a point of order but we are not in the plenary. However, I just going to start first with the people who was in the Zoom, and then we move forward with that. So Mustafa, Medicine Sudan.
Yeah, thank you, Mustafa, Medicine Sudan, him. Yeah, I was going to say that before we start the plenary, can we please have the live stream on? Since you said this is out of the plenary, so I believe Angelo's points are not within the live stream, but yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it was not, since it was not the plenary, yeah, we didn't start, but we are now starting the live stream. Lindsay, Lebanon.
Hello, this is Zainab from Lemsik, Lebanon, she, her. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I have a question to Angelo, if possible. Does this mean that all of our procedures go back to the constitution and bylaws of 2004? And how does this affect the elections of the EB?
Okay, this is a really nice question. So basically, this is how it works. Our bylaws, not the constitution, our bylaws are our internal agreements that we have as federation where we work on it. And if the bylaws are aligned to the constitution or the articles of association, it don't have any impact. However, the problems will happen on the contradiction of the bylaws with the articles of association. That means specifically our articles of association are quite broad because that's the recommendation for any association. They are not as strict as our bylaws. They, for example, this is an example. For example, the articles of association mention that the IFMSA, the board of the IFMSA is composed by 3 people, the president, the secretary general, and the treasurer. But that doesn't mean that according to the bylaws, we can have more vice presidents. So that's why the IFMSA has 7 vice presidents. That's our agreement. However, legally, it only has 3. So the biggest contradictions that we may have or that we may face are the voting of the extraordinary or associate members, as mentioned in the articles of association. And to be honest, and to be more adherent to the process itself, the articles of association will be also handled to the CCC. So the CCC can also make interpretations if the bylaws are aligned to that part too. I think that the cases are specific in terms of different decisions, but mostly in this case, what is the hardest consequence is that the voting rights of the associate members.
Thank you. We have BBMD. In France. Okay. Microphone, please. Thank you, Nayef.
Raphael from Adam France, thank you. This is a confusing situation. So just to make it clear, could the EB confirm that currently we are under the constitution of 2019 and the bylaws of 2025? Is that it or not?
We are under the constitution of 2019, no, because during the past meeting, the General Assembly decided to move to the Netherlands. The last time that the constitution in the Netherlands was updated was in 2004. And this was just an example, but the last time that the constitution was updated in Denmark was in 2019. So basically, actually, if someone would have had a concern on the decisions from 2019 until from 2023 until 2024, where the associate members voted, that could also have caused a problem because the past EBs never updated the constitution in any of the registry of companies. But right now, we have the articles of association of 2004 as the main constitution of the federation, and we have our agreements of the bylaws. How do we say? Like the agreements of the bylaws the bylaws are an internal agreement that are dynamic, that actually give the flexibility of the federation to conduct their operations. and unless they are against the articles of association, we can keep updating them and just to have them as our common agreement. So we have the agreement of the bylaws, the second part of the IFMSA, August meeting 2024. However, they need to align with the articles of association of 2004.
Thank you. And in Portugal? Can you wait a bit, please, so we can give you the microphone? Thank you.
Sorry. Catarina Cardoso, and I'm a president, she, her. How does this affect online voting? Can we still do that, or?
That's actually a really, really nice question that we also consulted. Luckily, now it's possible to vote online in the Netherlands. According to the interpretation of DLA Piper 2, we are kind in a gray space. It is not prohibited, but this is also something that we're going to change in the Constitution. It is not explicitly mentioned, but while it is not prohibited itself, saying that proxy and online voting is not possible, it can be done. But however, this is something that we are working that until May we're going to make it explicit. But as it is not explicitly saying that online voting and proxy voting cannot happen, it can be done.
Grace.
We have one in the online, so Medicine Sudan.
Okay, thank you, Mustafa Sudan him. My question is also about the online modality. So, what are the implications of this decision on the online participation of NMOs who are participating in the General Assembly with an completely online format, let's say? So, because in the past August meeting, in the last plenary session, we had to stop the live stream, and also we had to go back to vote based on the 2004 Constitution. So this is my question. Thank you.
Okay, according about the process of the August meeting 2024, I will need to be clear with a lot of with the General Assembly itself, and is that it did not have a strong legal consultation on the process itself. It was more a quick maneuver from different voices explaining the process itself. So that was like the interpretation at that moment. However, things have changed since that. Basically, if the member itself identify correctly through the credential form and follow the steps according to the regulations that we have that provide voting access to the members, they are still able to vote. This is also something that has been changed lately in the Netherlands, because also in the past 1 year ago it was not possible, or 2 years ago, but during the last month, during the last year it has become valid.
BBMD.
Hi, Amelie for BBMD Germany, she, her. So just to clarify, we are currently in the constitutional bylaws of 2004, and from 2019 to August meeting 2024, we were in the constitution of March 2019. Is that correct? I'm very confused.
Okay, so right now we are in the Articles of Association of 2004 of the Netherlands. The bylaws are an internal agreement that are not legalized in the Netherlands, but they only need to be under the umbrella of the Articles of Association. So the bylaws are the ones that we have agreed on the August meeting 2025. However, it is due to the interpretation of the CCC and of a lawyer if the bylaws of the process itself align with the Articles of Association and the decisions. So basically, we are having because the bylaws are internal agreements, are regulations that we set inside ourselves to keep running the federation, and they only should align with the Articles of Association. So we have the bylaws of August meeting 2025, the Articles of Association. We have our Constitution too, but the main one are the Articles of Association of 2004. That from that side, that I think that answered the first part. And the second part of the question is something that we also really discovered recently when we were actually putting some things in order in Denmark. and is that the IFMSA never updated their constitution. So what you should actually do when you register a company, and actually all of you should know because you are the president, is that once you change the constitution, you should go with a new constitution and give them to the, in this case, the Danish business registry. However, the last, and of course, translated to the language of the country, and this should be adopted by the General Assembly, etc. However, the last time that happened in the IFMSA was was during March meeting 2019. During August meeting 2018, there was the decision to move the IFMSA from the Netherlands to Denmark, and then the constitution and the process itself happened in March meeting 2019. So basically, yeah, the constitution where the IFMSA was taking most of the decisions between 2019 until 2024, the last August meeting, was the constitution of March meeting 2019. Yeah.
IFMSA Spain.
Pedro, IFMSA Spain. So we have a question here in this table. So if we approve a motion in plenary 6, motion 27 of last August meeting saying that we ratified all the proposed and adopted changes for constitution and bylaws, and this motion passed and was adopted, what's preventing us from acting with our constitutions as they are in August meeting 24? If you, for example, were elected as EBTO and you are acting, even if you are pending the resolution of however the thing is called, why we cannot act according to those constitution and bylaws?
Sorry, I'm going to speak Spanish. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so that motion was invalid because, sorry, there is one problem with that motion, and is imagine that you just come to the plenary and say, okay, this is the new constitution of the association, and let's adopt it. So it's not something that procedurally should go according to the Dutch law. You should actually to adapt these changes that we have, or to implement these changes to the constitution. You are changing the legal structure of the association, and to change the legal structure of the association, you need to send the new constitution at least with invitations of the General Assembly. So basically, those motions were like an attempt of the executive board and the supervising council to put some order in the statutes. However, they are not like legally representative at some point, because to actually make a change to the legal structure of the association, you should send the constitution itself, change it at least 2 months before the meeting. Because what the law of the Dutch law wants is that NMO members should be aware that the association is changing their legal structure before they are going to the process. So this is an attempt, a good attempt, I must say, but yeah, the lawyer said that it was just an attempt that actually does not have like the implication itself. Because also one important thing is that in that moment is also not specified what changes are we doing. It is not specifically mentioning like we're changing this. We are just saying, okay, all the changes from 2004. And that's also ambiguity and not specificity in terms of legal procedures.
Okay, we're gonna take just the last question from Cyprus, and then we're going to finish this space.
Thank you, everyone. Theo Hihiam from Cyprus. According to the IFMSA Secretariat framework, the IFMSA Secretariat is responsible of updating, among other things, the Articles of Association. Now that we move to the Netherlands, I guess to the KVK, my question is, since we don't have an IFMSA Secretariat, that falls into the IFMSA VPA. What has been the role of the IFMSA VPA, and why apparently only the president has been the one that manages the commerce?
Actually, that's a really good question. I'm not going to answer in terms of the VPA. I think that the VPA can be accountable of himself. However, this raises a good question about the Secretariat framework. And the Secretariat framework is also, after I also talked with the lawyers, it's more an internal agreement where we had. So it's not legally binding. If we just want to, that could give a proper, a short answer in probably one question. but it's more like an internal agreement that we have on how to conduct the secretariat. And there are other things as internal operations and also operational guidelines or procedures, and also the contract itself that the ones that define the operation of the secretariat. And in terms of the BPA, I cannot be accountable for his work. I don't know if he's.
Thank you, IFMSA President. Now we're going to continue. We're going to continue to the plenary. Just to inform you, we're going to redo the whole plenary. So we're going to start from the beginning. The previous plenary was, let's consider it a simulation. So now, please enter to Nemo vote. I believe the Nemo vote has been updated with the voting rights of the last. We're going to have just one closing statement from the IFMSA president.
More details will be provided in the session on accountability on the executive board in terms of how is the mandate doing, and also presenting the timeline for the next August meeting, so this does not happen again. And we will also share a small legal review report with all the findings that the lawyers have provided to us since August until now, and what's the current process for the sake of transparency and also for accountability.
Thank you, and thank you, FMSA President Angelo Moreno. Now you can come next to my side so we can start the plenary. So we are going to start the plenary. Now we're going to wait for our secretary assistant. Thank you. Yes, we're going to let you know how the quorum is. So Vice Chair.
So total number of members with voting rights is 87 after the deduction of associate members. So 1 by 3 is 29 votes. So the quorum is 29.
Thank you. So we are going to start the 74th IFMSA General Assembly March meeting 2025. Next slide, please. You already know this slide. Connect to NemoBot. And this is our plenary agenda number 1. We have the opening, adoption of hybrid plenary guidelines, election of the chairperson and vice chairperson, presentation of the secretary and assistant secretaries, election of the returning officers, election of the financial committee, election of the constitutional credential committee, adoption of the agenda, presentation of other organizations, observers, and guests, introduction of all IFMSA officials and the organizing committee. Interim update by the EV on the execution of the strategic plan to be done in the president sessions. Next slide, agenda item 1, opening. Procedural motion number 1, to open the 74th General Assembly March meeting 2025, which will be conducted in a hybrid setting. This means that the plenaries will be conducted hybrid in its entirety, and the decisions and election made and conducted hybrid according to the voting procedures outlined in the IFMSA Constitution and bylaws, and relevant supporting documents will be considered as valid. This is proposed by IFMSA EV. IFMSA EV, would you like to explain? Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Limsa Lithuania, thank you. Since this is a procedural motion, we're going to directly proceed to a vote. So please join Nemo vote. We are opening the vote. The vote is open.
Please vote. It will come in PDF. Already. We are closing the vote.
Okay, we have 46 votes in favor, 3 against, 1 abstention. Motion passes 2/3 majority. Next slide. Next slide, please. Point of information from we cannot hear you. Could you please?
We didn't receive our voting card yet.
Okay, so since the vote was closed and since we are in agenda item 2, we can give her voting card, please. Please, for the rest of the animals who are joining us, and if you don't have your voting cards, you can come into the front side and find Dianta. She will have voting cards for you. Okay, so now we are going to proceed to agenda item 2, adoption of the hybrid plenary guidelines. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. Plenary motion 1 to adopt the hybrid General Assembly guidelines as sent on the NMO server on 20 of February 2025 to be used for the conduct of the 74th General Assembly March meeting 2025, proposed by IFMSA-EB. Would you like to explain? Thank you. Do we have a seconder? And in Portugal? Do we have any amendment? IFMSA-EB?
Okay. So we have one sentence which says that the credential form requests information about the participation mode for each delegate. We want to remove this sentence and add the registration form has information regarding the participation mode for every delegate. And our explanation is the information regarding participation mode is not requested in the CF credential form, but we are using the information from the registration form that is also included in the plenary and the presentation master sheet, so it needs to be removed from the hybrid GA guidelines. Thank you.
Thank you, IFMSA-EB. Does Portugal accept the amendment? Thank you, and in Portugal. Do we have any further amendments, Medicine Sudan?
Okay, thank you, Mustafa, Medicine Sudan, him. We do have an amendment to 2 points of the hybrid General Assembly guidelines. I will be typing our amendments in the chat, then I will be reading them. So just 1 second, please. So yes, our amendment is, the first point is on the Zoom live stream and vote through Nemo Vote. The point says all plenary sessions are to be recorded through Zoom and will be live streamed on YouTube for archiving purposes. Only one representative in the Zoom call per animal will be allowed. Our amendment is to be only 2 representatives. The second point is on the online delegates. The original point says during the plenary session, each animal participating online shall have the right to 1 account on their personal device, between brackets, laptop, phone, tablet, etc. So our amendment is during the plenary session, each animal participating online shall have the right to 2 accounts on their personal device. This amendment is, as we shared on the server or aerial today, is meant to ensure more inclusive and more and to ensure the inclusivity of online participation of animals who cannot attend in physical manner. So this is the reason behind this amendment. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Medicine Sudan. Does IFMSA EV accept the amendment? IFMSA EV doesn't accept the amendment. Well, don't accept the amendment. Okay. Now, since the proposer didn't accept the amendment, we are going to proceed to a vote in favor of the amendment or against of the amendment. Sorry, original motion versus amendment. So connect to the NEMO vote, please.
Yeah, may use its original versus amendment. So this is original. In favor of original motion. I mean, I created in the other one. So we are opening the vote now. Please vote. Please vote. Please check the title. Please vote. 45 people voted. Please vote. We will be closing the vote in 5 seconds. Closing the vote now.
Okay, so we have 24 in favor of original motion, 16 in favor of the amendment, 9 abstentions, 49 votes in total. So we are going to proceed with the original motion. Now, back to the original motion. Do we have any further amendments? Lemsig Lebanon, is this a point of information, point of order?
Point of order, please. There was no against both in the vote, but the first time there was.
Yes, in the previous plenary. It was a mistake. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. So we don't have any further amendments. Do we have any direct negative? No direct negatives. This motion passes nimo contra. Okay, we have adopted the hybrid. Sorry, this motion passes. Yes, this motion passes nimo contra. Sorry, the IFMSA president look at me with concerns. Okay, agenda item number 3, election of the chairperson and vice chairperson. So this is my last motion with you. Next slide, please. Motion number 2 to elect Camille Yang Yu Hao, IFMSA Quebec, Canada, as chairperson for the 74th General Assembly March meeting 2025, proposed by the IFMSA Executive Board. Would you like to explain?
No, we do not.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? CFMS Canada. Do we have any amendment? No amendments. Do we have any direct negative? No direct negative. Thank you so much. Welcome, Camille.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace. All right, so we're going to proceed to the next point that we have here, Plenary 1, Motion 3, to elect Simeng Lee, IFMSA the Netherlands, as Vice Chairperson for the 74th General Assembly March meeting 2025, proposed by the IFMSA Executive Board. Would you like to explain? Evie, would you like to explain?
No, we do not want.
No? Okay. Do we have a seconder? I would like to take someone. Okay, I will take the IFMSA the Netherlands then. Do we have any amendments? Any direct negatives? Motion passes. Nimo contra. Congratulations to Simeng. Okay, we have agenda item number 4, presentation of the secretary and assistant secretaries. You can go to the next slide. So we have the presentation of the secretary team. The plenary secretary will be Zana Wishyard Abdul Wahab. I'm so sorry if that's wrong, from IFMSA Kurdistan. We also have assistant secretaries Yahya Mohammed Yahya Ahmed from IFMSA Egypt and Isabella Marie B. de la Cruz, AMSA Philippines. Welcome. Okay, thank you so much. We can move on to the next slide. We have agenda item number 5, election of the returning officers. We have plenary 1, motion 4, to elect Mohammed Abi Balasaili Hassan from Mitin Sudan, Catherine Sijoni Nixon from IFMSA UAE, and Mahmoud Ashraf Mahmoud Mohammed from IFMSA Egypt as returning officers for the 74th General Assembly March meeting 2025, proposed by the IFMSA Executive Board. Would you like to explain?
No, we do not want to explain.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Someone online? We have Mitin Sudan. Okay, do we have any amendments? I see none. Do we have any direct negatives? I see none, so motion passes Nemo Contra. Congratulations. We can go to the next slide. We have agenda item number 6, election of the financial committee. Next slide. So plenary 1, procedure motion 2, to elect Ahmed Rifat Medicine Sudan, Anina Biri Sumsa Switzerland, Ariaz Ziad Sumsa Kurdistan, Abdelrahman Said Medicine Sudan as a financial committee for the 74th General Assembly March meeting 2025, proposed by IFMC Supervising Council 2024-2025. They don't want to explain?
No, we don't.
Oh, Supervising Council, not EB.
No, we don't want to.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have a seconder? I'm gonna take Slumza, Slovakia. Yes, Slovakia. Slumza, Slovakia. Slumza, not Simza. SLOMSA. S capital. I will let my secretary do his work first. Amazing. Thank you so much. As this is a procedural motion, we will pass to vote. I will wait for my vice chairperson to open a vote and we will let you know.
The vote is open.
Please vote. The vote will close in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vote is closed. So we have 45 in favor, 3 against, 1 abstention. So motion passes to third majority. Congratulations. Point of information from, I cannot see, from Mr. Joe. Please wait for the mic.
I want to ask if Farhan from IFMC Joe. I want to ask if the term of the supervising council correct. Is it 24-25? Thank you.
Okay. So we have taken this from the motion submission sheet. Was supervising council would like to have a word on this?
I I'll pass it to the committee members to see if it's valid or not. But pre-selected CCC.
We do not have a CCC.
Pre-selected, we cannot.
Pre-selected CCC cannot make a decision.
Okay. Because like I cannot give the interpretations during the GA, so I cannot say if it's valid or not.
Point of order from Simza Cyprus. Can we have the mic here, please?
Hi everyone, Theo Hihian from SAMSA Cyprus. Based on August meeting 24 president, we had the same situation. The chairperson can make the interpretations before the CCC is elected based on August meeting 24. Thank you.
Point of information, Supervising Council.
From the accepted document that we have registered, it's the supervisory board. And yeah, we need to go back with that. I'm not sure again. Can I show it to you?
Point of order, Amza
Can we
Austria.
have 5 minutes break?
We'll
Because
take
I
the
need
point
to
of
show
order.
this document.
We'll take the order from Amza Austria.
The English version of this document that we have access to is a translation of the Dutch version and not the original version. If you go to the IFMSA archive, there is not the version from AM04, but there are old versions and they do use the word supervising council. So we should not rely on a translation of a translation for the terms that we use.
We'll take a 5-minute break.
Please, everyone, stay in your seats. Stay logged into Nemo Vote. Thank you. If you have a voting card and you are leaving, you cannot. You have to hand in your voting cards with the CCC, the pre-selected CCC, before you can leave. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Hello, please, everyone go back to your seat. We will be restarting the plenary. Can you confirm, people in person, that you can hear me and that you would go back to your seat, please? I know I said 5 minutes, but we'll take it less because we reached a conclusion here. And I would like to end this soon so that you can enjoy an opening ceremony. Please keep quiet as we're going to proceed. Thank you. All right, so we've discussed this for a little bit. As we do not have a CCC currently selected, I, as the chairperson, will make a ruling on this. I deem this motion as valid. This is the chairperson's decision. If anyone believes that this is not valid and would like to question this, you have all the right to do so. However, this is my interpretation, and this will be the decision that we will move on with. So this motion is valid, and this motion has passed with 2/3 majorities. Please give us a little bit of silence. I know people are excited, but I would like to proceed now. We can go to the next slide. We have agenda item number 7, election of the Constitution Credential Committee. Plenary 1, motion 5 to elect in Kengani, I'm so sorry, Aka Elvira, Kamsa Cameroon, Amal Naim, Lemsen Lebanon, Marafi Kidir Abashar El Hassan, Metsin Sudan, Dianta Joanna Jansen, IFMC the Netherlands, and Sichon Lam, FMS Taiwan, as the Constitution Credential Committee for the 74th IFMSA General Assembly March meeting 2025, proposed by the IFMSA Executive Board. Would you like to explain? They say no, they do not want to explain. Do we have a seconder? I will take someone online. Lemsik Lebanon. Yes, Lemsik Lebanon. Do we have any amendments? Do you have any direct negatives? Then Brazil would like to direct negative. Would you have an alternative motion? No. Would you like to pass the vote? Yeah, I still have to say if you have any alternative. Okay, and you would like to pass your vote? Would you like to pass your vote? I would need you to say yes or no. Is that what you want? Okay, all right. You want the vote is what you're doing for the direct negative. You don't have alternative motions or any other interventions. Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. So then Brazil would like to have a vote on this motion. We will work on opening the vote. We will let you know when that is open.
The vote is open now. Please vote.
Please vote. We're going to be closing the vote in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The vote has now been closed. So we have 46 in favor, 0 against, 3 abstentions. So this motion passes a simple majority. Okay, congratulations, you the selected CCC. Next, I have agenda item number 8, adoption of the agenda. Plenary 1, procedural motion 3 to adopt the latest version of the proposed agenda of the 74th General Assembly March meeting 2025 as sent over the NMO server on the 1st of March, proposed by IFMC Executive Board. Would you like to explain? No, they do not want to explain. Do we have a seconder? I'll take Helmsick Greece. As this is a procedural motion, we will pass on to a vote. I will just let my secretary put in the seconder's name, Helmsick Greece. Awesome, thank you. So I will let my vice chair open the vote now. The vote is open, please vote. Please vote. We are closing the vote in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The vote is now closed. So we have 50 in favor, 1 against, 0 abstentions. So this motion passes 2/3 majority. Okay, we have a hand up on the Zoom. Metzko Oman. What is this intervention? A point of information, point of order? Or is this an old hand? Let's go then.
Hello everyone, it's Zan Wahshi here and him. It was from an former point.
I'm sorry, I did not understand your intervention. What was the hand for?
That was for a seconder for the previous motion.
I see. Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Let me ask you to put the hand away so I don't call you up again. Thank you. Moving on, we have agenda item number 9, presentation of other organizations, observers, and guests. IFMC EB.
I would like to request a speaker list. So we want to move the agenda item to the presentations to the opening ceremony, but I would like to request a speaker list so I can say a statement and record it in the plenary minutes.
So this agenda point will be moved on to the opening ceremony, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll be moving on then.
But I would like to request a speaker list.
You would like to open a speakers list. Sorry,
Yes.
that I did not catch that. So speaker list, IFMC Executive Board.
Yes.
Anyone else that wants to be on the speakers list? I see none. So IFMC EB, you may go.
Dear IFMS family, delegates. Dear IFMSA family, delegates, and distinguished guests from all over the world, It is an honor to stand here as we acknowledge the presence of esteemed external partners, observers, and guests who have joined us in this March meeting 2025. Their support, expertise, and collaboration play an essential role in strengthening our work and expanding the impact of our federation. We deeply appreciate the contribution in fostering meaningful discussions, capacity building, and advocacy efforts that empower our members worldwide. It is with great pleasure that I now introduce as your VP the external partners who are attending March meeting 25 in person and online, extending our sincere gratitude for the time, energy, and valuable perspectives that they are bringing alongside their enriching experiences from their diverse background. From European Medical Students Association, EMSA, Eileen Koch. From World Medical Association Junior Doctor Network, Eugene Son. From the International Association of Dental Students, IEDS, Abdallah Munkit Al-Subaij and Denise Debrim Kaya. From the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation, Gaba Rayush. Also participating online and contributing to the standing committee sessions, we have representatives from the World Federation of Medical Education, Training for Health Equity Network, Scholar RX, Center for Research on Emergency Medicine and Disaster Medicine, World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists, Migration Youth and Children Platform, United Nations Relief and Works Agencies for Palestine Refugees in the Near East. I would also like to take a moment to sincerely thank the IFMSA liaison officers, regional directors, and External Affairs International team, whose dedication and hard work have made these partnerships and collaborations possible and fruitful. Their efforts ensure that IFMSA continues to engage meaningfully with global health stakeholders, opening doors for all of us to learn, advocate, and grow. With that in mind, I encourage all of you to make the most of their presence, engage with them, ask questions, and explore opportunities to collaborate. IFMSA is an amazing platform that shapes our medical school years and us as junior healthcare professionals and advocates. So don't hesitate to hold discussions and be inspired on how to transform your local communities, healthcare education systems, and future careers. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the next days ahead. Lucia, on behalf of the Executive Board.
Thank you so much, IFMSA Executive Board. We will move on to the next slide. We have agenda item number 10, introduction of all IFMSA officials and the organizing committee. This will be done in the opening ceremony. We can move on to the next slide. Agenda item number 11, interim update by the Executive Board on the execution of the strategic plan. This will be done at the president sessions. We can move to the next slide. All right, this is it. That's the end of Plenary 1. Thank you so much for your patience. Meeting is adjourned to tomorrow. Please, before you leave, voting cards to our dear CCC member at the front. You cannot leave this hall with your voting card. Thank you.